Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 17th day of April 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union. The Credit Union looks forward to serving the people of the Cayman Islands for the next 50 years and beyond. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility, here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. Again, this morning, big shout out to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson. Going to do a quick birthday shout out, because we do have guests in the studio, very important things to talk about this morning as well. So we have been asked, first of all, happy 50th to Radio Cayman right here as well. Today would be the date of the first broadcast 50 years ago for Radio Cayman. And as a result of that, during the course of the show and all of the shows today as well, we will be having giveaways and questions, trivia questions that we will ask you, and we will probably have about 2 or 3 of them during the course of the show this morning as well. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs. We've been asked to give a birthday shout-out to Eli, who's celebrating his 6th birthday today. Your daddy loves you so much. Birthday greetings, of course, coming from your dad, Ryan. And also, we see that... Looking for the dates here. The 19th. I have one for the 19th, which is Richard Nathan Parsons celebrating his birthday on April the 19th. If you know anyone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here and For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. So, folks, we're going to go right straight to our important guest this morning. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Miss Felicia McLean, who's the Chief Nursing Officer in the Cayman Islands, and also Minister Katherine Ebanks-Wilks in the studio with us. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Lots to talk about this morning, and I'm sure that the minister would want to possibly give an update on the situation at the landfill before we get into the other topics that we're going to talk about. So I want to extend that opportunity to you, Minister.
Thank you, OC, and good morning, Cayman. It is another beautiful day to be alive in the Cayman Islands, and I'm really happy to be here with our Chief Nursing Officer. But as you said, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, OC, I'd like to just start by giving a huge shout out of gratitude and appreciation to our fire services crew, and also the Royal Cayman Islands Police and our DEH crew, who have all been working hard from yesterday and throughout the night last night to ensure that we all are safe. I know that there is an update meeting being held shortly with the government so that we can get exact details from our Chief Fire Officer, who has also been working hard to ensure that his crew are able to contain the fire. And so we'll have a more accurate update, an official update from the government later this morning. But I'm pleased to see that it looks like the fire is under control, and we will continue to update the public throughout the day. But as for now, I don't think that we are in the same situation that we were in last night. The fire was quite large, and with the wind conditions, it was concerning at some points. But it looks like we are in a position now where they have the fire under control. So I'm sure that there will be an official update later on this morning. Okay,
and all of those armchair, what should I call them? Armchair analysts out there who are giving various reasons for the fire and everything else. We would say to them, basically, wait until the results come out as far as an investigation is concerned, and don't put rumors out there, and spread things that you know absolutely nothing about. Wait for, the official statement to be made in terms of the cause of the fire, because I'm sure that at some point in time that will be determined as well, Minister.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about two things this morning, and I think we've probably switched the order of things because Miss Felicia, has other obligations. So we're going to be talking about the movement challenge, but we also will be talking later about the health practice amendment bill and any other topics that the minister may want to discuss as well. So I'm going to throw the mic straight over to the two ladies.
Thank you, OC. Well, I guess you want to kick off then with going on to the movement challenge first. Or we both have, we're meeting with the public health team immediately after the show this morning, but certainly wanted to come on and have more of a conversation with the public about the movement challenge. And our Chief Nursing Officer, Felicia, has been working extremely hard to get this up and running, and I must say I'm really proud to see what she's been able to accomplish. And there is a team behind her with the ministry, but I mean, you can probably give a shout out to some of the ladies who've been working really hard with you. I know Carolina is
Carolina for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Carolina has been a huge asset to our ministry and to the movement challenge. She took what I had as a vision when coming back from the conference in Barbados around diabetes, which is really where while the movement challenge is a step into wellness from the STEP survey, it was really, the idea was born coming out of a diabetic conference, which highlighted the fact of movement related to controlling your sugar. And there was a vision of what other countries had did and what we could potentially do. There was a vision from Minister in regards to starting the new year and really kicking off with something wellness related to encourage our population to be healthier, make better choices. And Carolina took a thought process and helped put it into action. So huge shout out to her. We've got Rachel and Hallie, who have been behind the scenes with the technical support and the data. They created the survey that everyone signs up with to tell us a little bit about their habits. They helped us to figure out the best way to track this movement challenge. Because it isn't about the biggest loser. It's not about the person that loses the most weight. It's about changing habit. And so I think that the link that they've created and the questions asked are going to give us some really good information as to what it takes to help people to change their habits around movement. My policy support officer, Kaylin, she has managed all stakeholder meetings and helped us to engage partners in the community to offer things that people can do during the challenge. She's also ensured that all the data related things that needed to happen and checks and balances were in place. So we've a small team but mighty, and then we've had other people in the ministry who pitched in here and there to make things happen. So huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to the community and all the stakeholders from the community who've offered these things, because we would not be possible without them as well. Huge congratulations to our ministry, government, because it started as the Ministry of Health initiative and has grown into a CIG government-wide. The government officials have come behind to support us encouraging our population to get active. And so when we talk about the Movement Challenge, I want to first say thank you to the almost 800 people so far who have signed up to the challenge. Great. So we're really excited about that. We want many, many more. So it's not too late. People have asked the question, well, it's kind of, we're started now. Does it mean I can't join? No, we still want you to join. It's about being active. It's not about the amount of time. It's starting to curb behaviors and changing habits. So we want everyone to still sign on. Huge shout out to the schools. Several of the schools have come on board. I think it's 15 in total so far, with initiatives themselves that they're doing for their kids in the school, whether it be 2 days a week, whether it be, 5-minute breaks, they call it, where every so often they get up and they stand up for 5 minutes. So it's about finding ways to be active. We've got, I think only, and this one is about a downfall, I think was maybe 18 businesses, and we've got a lot more businesses in the Cayman that could be encouraging their staff to be healthy, to be active. And so we encourage more businesses to come on board with initiatives to encourage their staff to be active and moving, because we know that when we move, we're going to decrease our chances for cardiovascular disease, non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cancer. We're going to increase mental health. We're going to increase overall productivity. So it really is an initiative that everyone can be a part of and help us to take the necessary steps to change the behavior to be better and more healthy.
Okay, and you said it is not too late for people to join. Can we speak about the length of the challenge when it began, and can we talk about the plan itself?
Yeah, sure. So started at the DG's 5K. So huge shout out to DG for his vision in regards to getting people active in the first place with the DG 5K. So when we pitched it to him and said, hey, can we launch on your event because we really want to? He's like, that's exactly what I've been hoping for. So we were excited. We launched them. So it officially started in regards to tracking a 12-week period. However, our team for that, we wanted teams to get involved because we know that when people work together, and when I know that ministers exercising, I'm more inclined to want to exercise. When she sees me exercising, she's more inclined. So we know that the challenge aspect helps, but also the camaraderie between families and groups and stuff are going to encourage each other to make that difference. So the Team Fit app, we wanted people to get on. So that took 2 weeks before it came live. So that went live this week, April the 12th. So we're just in the beginning of the challenge, and we're going to, through that challenge app, gain points as teams and go through the Yukon Islands in the Caribbean, and that's our path. And so we encourage people to join for that one. And how do they get involved? It's as simple as go to gov.ky/MoveItCayman, and that'll help them to register. And once they register, they'll get an email that'll take them to the Team Fit app, that allow them to track it in their own on their own devices.
And then maybe you could just tell them a little bit about the prizes.
Oh, the prizes. So yeah, we're super excited. We've had Cayman Airways vouchers, thanks to the ministry. We've also had, we've got swag, we've got gym memberships, we've got healthcare checks, we've got we've got spinning classes, lots of different prizes. And because it's not the biggest loser, it wasn't like, oh, well, you got to 15,000 points, we're going to give you their prize. Everyone constantly, every week of the challenge has a chance to be entered, because we're going to do basic participation challenge. So if you're in the challenge, your name is always entered every week for a chance to win. If you do something based on a challenge we set, so let's say we say, take pictures and show us of you and your family, or do some posting and say #MoveItCayman, or, share with us something you've done, you'd be entered into these random prizes just to continue to encourage people to be active. We've looked at schools and reached out to some of the schools and said, what would you like? We don't want to do a pizza party, but what would be another good thing? So we might have some icicle parties where we treat the kids to some icicles for being active, and maybe some other small prizes that they can randomly give away as well to support the schools. And then the businesses, it's all about who gets the biggest shout out.
And speaking of that, I want to just take an opportunity to thank all of those businesses and companies that have already started to sponsor the movement challenge by offering prizes, and I'm asking this morning if you are a business owner and you have any type of giveaways that you would be willing to donate. We will certainly ensure that your company is highlighted. I think one of the areas that I've actually personally been reaching out to a lot of areas that focus on wellness, because I think that it's good to just give somebody an opportunity to go get a massage, see how good that makes you feel. It's good for your health as well. Go to, try out a new gym. So we're just asking all of those organizations, especially those that focus on wellness, if you would reach out to the ministry and donate, just something so that we can encourage our residents in the community to become more involved and active with the Movement Challenge.
Certainly. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. For those of you who are just joining us, let me remind you that we have the presence of the Honorable Katherine Ebanks-Wilks in the studio with us, along with the Chief Nursing Officer, Ms. Felicia McLean. We're talking about Move It, Cayman, National Movement Challenge. When we return, the conversation will continue. If you have any questions or comments, I would encourage you to please send them to us at our WhatsApp number, 925-3261, and I can convey your message to the minister and to the Chief Nursing Officer. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
This April, you could be heading to the 2026 World Cup. Coca-Cola is giving away 4 epic trips for 2, including flights, hotel, transfers, and tickets to see the 2026 World Cup matchups live. Catch world rank number 4, England versus Croatia, and defending World Cup champions Argentina as they take on Austria, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Grab any Coca-Cola product, Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Dasani, Smart Water, scan a QR code, or drop your entry in-store. It's that easy. Shop anywhere Coca-Cola is sold: supermarkets, gas stations, convenience stores, and food trucks. Contest closes April 30th, and winners revealed May 8th on National Have a Coke Day. Coca-Cola, drink it in and live it up at the World Cup.
When you join the credit union, you're not just a customer. You're a member owner with one equal vote. As we celebrate 50 years, our members continue to share the benefits. Enjoy strong dividends on shares, competitive loan rates, and the lowest lending fees on the market. Plus, we're the only lender returning up to 2% of loan interest to our members every year. For 50 years, we've helped Caymanians save, borrow, and build brighter futures. That's the credit union difference. Visit creditunion.ky to learn more.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
One of my favorite memories listening to Radio Cayman over in the BRAC was during hurricane season, waiting for the updated storm coordinates to be able to track it on the map. So I would be either by the radio or by the map. Me or my dad, whoever was closest to the radio would shout out the coordinates and the other person would mark it down on the map, and then we'd both take a look and see where we predicted the storm to be moving and how quickly it would get to the BRAC or how close it would come to the BRAC. It's one of my favorite memories. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We are talking about the hashtag #MoveIt Cayman, which is a national movement challenge spearheaded by the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, aimed at empowering the nation to get moving. Of course, many of you would have heard about the STEPS 2023 national survey, and some of the results that were garnered from that survey showed, for instance, that 70% of individuals in the Cayman Islands are overweight or obese. 1 in 4 persons residing in the Cayman Islands have been diagnosed with raised blood pressure, and 24% of the population report never having their blood sugar levels measured as well. This is astonishing. Now, as far as the overweight and obesity is concerned, we know that some of these miracle drugs and miracle shots that are coming out now, but they normally are taken under a physician's guidance, may have side effects as well, and may not be that affordable to some people, as well. So how does this STEP challenge seek then to improve some of these numbers that the results that we've seen from the STEPS survey?
Great question. So I'm going to hit the one on the head first, which regards to the injection, which is, like you said, these new drugs that we have out here to control weight. However, even when you take them with your physician's advice, you have to exercise because you will lose weight and you end up becoming flabby. So you need to tone your muscles anyway. So whether or not that's something someone's been considering as a method to curb obesity or overweight, you still need to move. Exercise is still key in your behavior to modify that lifestyle to actually be healthy. So regardless, you need to move. And so that's why the movement challenge is key. Also, the movement challenge is something that we all can do. It doesn't cost us anything. Now, yes, I could spend money and go to the gym, but I can also get outside with my family, hit a ball around, play catch, do jumping jacks, go for a ride, go for a walk down the road. It doesn't necessarily have to cost us anything more than time and intentionality. So which is why I thought it was a good one to start with when we look at the Step into Wellness initiative, because if I tell you to go eat healthy right now and the cost of living and fruits and vegetables cost a lot, there's more that our ministry will need to do to support improving healthy eating. But when I say let's get healthy by moving, we can all do a little bit without it costing us anything to actually get ourselves to a better wellness initiative rate in the Cayman Islands in that regard. So that's one of the things that makes it so important. And when we look at high blood pressure, when we look at cancer, when we look at stroke, kidney disease, being physically active is reducing one of the risk factors that would lead to these kind of diseases. And that's why movement is so key.
Advice for retired persons like myself and keep an active, and how do we go beyond that 12-week period, that continuity?
So 2 things. So one of the things that's a part of this challenge is on the website that you've gone to, gov.ky/MoveIt there's a calendar, if you scroll down, of activities. There are things that happen already in our community, some free, some not, but they're in there, and people can get an idea of what the spin classes are like, what the yoga classes are like, what the water classes are like, different things. So I encourage people to look at that calendar based on what they can and can't do. Try different things out. See what's good for you, because now we're going to empower you with what's actually available around you that will help you get physically active. Also, I've found that I think once you start doing something, and I'll use myself. So I normally walk in my neighborhood. And then the other night I was with my sister and I had already walked, but she was going. So I'm like, all right, I'll ride beside you because I'm not going to walk it twice. But even with that, when I was riding home, it was much easier. So I think by starting with this challenge to start walking or start jogging or going to the beach and taking a swim, it'll be easier for you to continue. But it does take several weeks to build a habit. Hence the 10 to 12 week challenge to try and build a habit towards it. And we're hoping that our older people will be able to continue once they're more familiar with what's happening in the community, what they can do, or even just building habits with their friends, that they will be able to encourage each other to keep it going past that. And we are going to check in later on after the challenge, like probably in September, to see how many people have managed to sustain any kind of level of activity after we've been giving you all the things that we could give you to help you keep going.
Okay, and so I see here in terms of how to participate and for people to sign up, and I believe you did mention this before, you can sign up as an individual or as a business.
So everyone should sign up as an individual, even if you are part of a business. So if I work in government, I'm going to sign up as an individual, but I'm going to join the government team. That business link just helps us to track businesses to see which businesses are doing initiatives to encourage their employees to be happy and or to be healthy. Sorry,
happy too.
Happy too.
Yes, that's right.
Happy
and healthy.
So that's just a separate one, because like the schools have their own one. We didn't put the schools there because we reached out to them individually, but we couldn't get to every business in the Cayman Islands. So we're hopeful that more businesses are listening and more businesses will say, hey, we haven't registered and we want to encourage our staff, and this is what we're going to do. So our ministry, and I'm really thankful for our minister, every Thursday we finish at 4 and we go for a walk around town, and that's what our ministry is doing to help us get healthy. We're also going to clean the beach next week and walk at the same time. So, we're doing our bits to encourage our staff as well to be active and to increase that physical activity and be more conscious about it.
And can you speak to the benefits that can be derived from this in terms of even medical costs and visits to the doctor?
Prevention.
In terms of prevention.
Prevention is better than cure, for sure.
Yes,
so if I go back to that, the risk factors, non-communicable diseases are not something you catch from some person. These are things you either have genetically or environmentally. So when we look at environmental things that are currently happening that in our lives, in our control, we have our weight, we have, which is physical activity, we have our blood pressure, sugar levels. We should know what those are, so we make sure they're going to be treated. We also want to look at alcohol, we want to look at diet, and we want to look at smoking and tobacco. That's 5 things that we can change ourselves. If we watch how much we drink or don't drink at all, if we don't smoke, that's great. If we're eating healthy, if we're moving around, and if we ensure that our blood pressure or our sugar levels are either normal or controlled to normal, then we reduce our risk factors for non-communicable diseases such as that. We can't completely eradicate it. Some of them it's genetic, but for the mass majority of us, we can make a difference. And currently, we only have 2.8% of our population with 0 risk factors.
And one of the things, so CNO is sharing all the medical bits of it, but I know as well that individuals who are struggling with, because I know you talked about bringing down your sugar levels. If you are struggling with managing your sugar levels, one of the suggested ways to do that is by moving. And I know that my dad struggled with diabetes, and whenever his sugar levels would get really high, he would go out for a walk and it would bring it down. So again, I guess just for those out there who's struggling with diabetes or even hypertension,
any of them,
because that helps you relieve stress and bring down your stress levels. It's one of the reasons why I get up every morning and go work out, because it just does something for your mind.
Yeah, it's good for our mental health, it's good for our physical health, it's good to teach our next generation the importance of activity. So there's so many benefits to encouraging our community to move, and it's so many benefits in regards to preventative. And like I said, people, our ministry, and a minister can say for sure, is committed to putting things in place to try and help improve the health of the country. But physical activity is one that we control. We have to, I could give you a free gym membership, but that doesn't mean you're going to go. So we're trying to change the idea around being physically active so that then people will take that initial step, and we can partner with them as a ministry to pave the way towards healthier living and better healthcare.
And I'd just like to take a moment to encourage the businesses to consider doing something different when it comes to team building. We know a lot of social committees will focus on doing, a Friday evening after work, happy hour, pickleball. I'm hearing a lot about pickleball now. But, one of the reasons why we've chosen to go for a walk on Thursdays is because on Thursdays, the Ministry of Health and Environment are quite busy. We usually sit in a conference room from was 12 o'clock straight down until 4 now. And once we finish that, it's a great opportunity for us to get out. We've had speakers and the ladies and gentlemen have been out. It's just nice to get out, watch we live in paradise. So being able to walk out on the waterfront and look at the sea, and it's so nice. So just want to encourage, all the businesses and ministries as well and departments to consider just doing something with your team members. It certainly will do a lot for team building.
Okay, so we've reached the top of the hour for 8 o'clock news. When we return, we're going to be talking about the consultation period for the Health Practice Amendment Bill.
Yes.
As well.
As you just come off this, I just want to brag 1 minute on the movement challenge by just saying a lot of times the public, members of the public will make comments like, well, why are you doing this survey, or why did you do this report? It's just going to be shelved. What the ministry is doing is actually implementing the actions required in order for us to bring down or to improve the health outcomes of our community. So I just want to give a shout out to the ministry for putting this into action and using the data to improve the health of our community. Thank you, OC.
Okay, folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the news.
Hey, this is Honorable Minister Michael Miles from Caymanian Employment and Immigration. On behalf of the Cayman Islands government and the people of the Cayman Islands, I extend a heartfelt congratulations to Radio Cayman on celebration of your 50th anniversary. For 5 decades, Radio Cayman has informed, educated, and united our community. Happy 50th anniversary.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. If you're in West Bay, this morning's commute may be a doozy as the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway remains closed while fire crews continue to battle a blaze at the Georgetown landfill. That's been burning since Thursday afternoon.
Landfill fires are particularly challenging due to the type of materials involved and the likelihood of deep-seated burning beneath the surface.
Chief Fire Officer Randy Rankin's crews worked through the night, with 911 confirming the boots are still on the ground at the landfill this morning.
The fire service will remain on site leading the response until the fire is under control and extinguished.
In addition to the road closures, several schools are shuttered this morning to protect staff and students from potential smoke exposure. This includes Marie Martin Georgetown Primary, Cayman International School, Footsteps, St. George's Preschool, and Bloom Learning Center. Additional air quality tests will also be carried out today. In other news, can you believe it? It's already time to start thinking about hurricane season. The Colorado State University team has announced its forecasting for the 2026 season. It includes 13 named storms, 6 hurricanes, with 2 of those being major storms. That's, quote, somewhat below normal activity. The CSU team says current weak La Nina conditions are likely to transition to El Nino in the next few months, which will be the, quote, dominant factor for the upcoming hurricane season. CSU is forecasting a below-average probability for major hurricane landfalls along the continental United States coastline and in the Caribbean. The next forecast update is expected on June 10th. And Cayman's newest shark research project begins. This month, the Department of Environment's shark team collected the first blood sample and ultrasound footage for the new Darwin Plus project, safeguarding vulnerable life stages in sharks.
The blood that we collected from the mature male Caribbean reef shark and the blood that we will collect from females will be treated for sex hormone analysis to examine reproductive cycles in local sharks.
DOE shark expert Dr. Joanna Kohler tells Radio Cayman the ultrasound footage will give her team information about male health and female pregnancies, including litter size and the stages of gestation. And this week,
we will start tagging mature males and pregnant females with special satellite tags that will record the movements of breeding individuals as well as pupping events.
This is just the start of the new 3-year study designed to dig deep into the life cycles of Cayman sharks, as well as reduce unwanted shark encounters by local fishermen. And speaking of cool ocean stuff, you're invited to join the Beyond the Reef Research Expedition team as they share findings from their recent deep sea exploration. The DOE team will be at the Bodden Town Library tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Danielle Yawowiecka. Tens of thousands of displaced Lebanese people are taking advantage of the 10-day ceasefire to head back to the south of the country, despite warnings not to do so. President Trump, who announced the pause in hostilities with fanfare on Thursday, has again talked up the prospect of an overarching peace deal with Iran. He said Tehran had agreed to hand over its enriched uranium, but this has been denied. The leaders of Britain and France are hosting a meeting with dozens of countries aimed at restoring free passage through the Strait of Hormuz. The vital waterway has been largely closed by Iran since the war began and is now also blockaded by the US. In other news, the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he's furious he wasn't told his former ambassador to Washington failed security checks before being appointed in a scandal that's threatening his premiership. Peter Mandelson stepped down after his extensive links to Jeffrey Epstein were revealed. The authorities in Myanmar have declined to move Aung San Suu Kyi, the country's former de facto leader, to house arrest as part of a wider New Year amnesty. The military chief who deposed her has become the new president after a sham election. Pope Leo has told worshippers to reject every form of abuse or violence during a public mass in Cameroon. He urged massive crowds in Douala to be the protagonists of the future. Hungary's incoming Prime Minister says he'll map out points of agreement with the European Union prior to forming a government. Peter Magyar said there was no time to waste to unblock billions of dollars of EU funds, which were frozen under his predecessor Viktor Orban. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Did you know the MMR vaccine protects children against measles, mumps, and rubella, 3 highly contagious viral diseases? Measles can cause serious complications such as pneumonia and brain inflammation. Under the updated National Immunization Schedule, the first dose of MMR vaccine will now be given at 12 months instead of 15 months, providing earlier protection for children. Vaccination trains the immune system to fight infections, keeping family and communities healthy. Ask your healthcare provider about the updated schedule today. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department.
This April 25th, join C School for a night of joy, celebration, and giving back. It's the Faith to Soar at 84 Celebration Gala at the Family Life Center on Academy Way, Georgetown. Seating starts at 6:30 p.m., so arrive early. Enjoy a delicious Cayman-style menu with fish, turtle, conch, chicken, and Cayman-style beef, plus all the trimmings. Be ready for amazing performances by the UCCI Performing Arts Ensembles, C Band, and Choir. And don't miss your chance at spot prizes. Tickets are just $100, smart casual attire, and all proceeds go towards the C Scholarship Fund. Come celebrate 84 years of faith, community, and excellence, because together we soar.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 81%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 10 knots. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Synopses indicate moderate winds with slight improvement in seas are expected as a ridge of high pressure gradually weakens over the northwest Caribbean. Partly cloudy conditions are likely today, with the chance of showers gradually increasing by tomorrow morning, mainly across Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, as moisture is advected across the area. Radar imagery shows showers in and around the Cayman area moving southwest. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise near the mid-80s with a heat index of 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be northeasterly 10 to 15 knots. Seas slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be northeasterly at 5 to 10 knots. Seas slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide will be this morning at 8:41, low tide this afternoon at 3:18, and a high tide again tonight at 3 minutes past 10. The sun will set this evening at 6:42 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for pockets of moisture to drift over the islands, bringing isolated showers, and a high pressure over the Atlantic will continue to weaken, bringing gentle to light winds and seas through the weekend. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
I was undercover and had just recovered the stolen artwork, but...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long. I found the art thief in France, but ended up becoming somewhat of a local celebrity. So I had to stick around for a while. But I was able to handle all my insurance needs with CG's online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britgay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britgay, where people come first. Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise the motoring public of planned works by the West Bay Road and Blossom Way intersection starting Monday 13th April to Friday 24th April between the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. To facilitate the works, southbound traffic will be diverted into the center turn lane. Road crews will be on site to divert traffic, and customers in the area will experience no service interruptions over the duration of this planned work. Motorists in the area are strongly encouraged to drive with caution while we conduct the wastewater infrastructure works. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it works on its infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
The Ministry of Education and Training invites eligible Caymanians to apply for a local scholarship for the 2026-2027 academic year. To apply for a local scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship offerings, please visit the Scholarship Secretariat's website at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Thursday, 30th of April, 2026. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and Training.
This is Will Sinatra. Just want to say a very special congratulations to Loxley Banks on having the building named after him, as well as happy 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman.
I can feel it. I'm the world's greatest.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening with a road situation. Heavy traffic on most roads. Eastern Avenue, heavy traffic. Also slow-moving traffic on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Expect delays. Coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway. Traffic on Agnes Way steady, as well as Bobby Thompson Way. Continuing on to Huldah Avenue. On the West Bay Road in front of Ritz, traffic is steady, especially heading towards the Georgetown area. Expect delays as you make your way to GT. Further up on Shamrock Road, moving at a moderate pace. Owen Roberts Drive, moderate flow of traffic. Remember, the Esterly Tibbetts Highway is currently closed until further notice. If you've seen any accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give another look at traffic. Remember, phones down, eyes on the road. Join us again this afternoon for another traffic report.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Are you ready to be inspired? Calling all marketers, creatives, and visionaries. Join SIMPA's 12th annual marketing conference, Level Up, Marketing's New Formula, happening April 17th and 18th at Hotel Indigo. Discover the latest trends in marketing innovation, sharpen your skills in hands-on workshops, and connect with global industry leaders who are changing the game. Plus, celebrate the best of Cayman's marketing and creative professionals at the SIMPA Awards Gala, honoring the brightest minds in the field. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at simpa.ky.
Brought to you by the Department of Tourism, Airview Media, DART, Health City, Compass Media, Armada Films, Signs of Paradise, Caribbean Creations, the Department of Communications, and Radio Cayman.
This is Mario Ebanks, and I recall growing up with Radio Cayman in the 1970s. Shows such as House of Gold, BBC News every evening, religious programs. Talk shows such as Open Line with Doreen Miller, Country Countdown with Loxley Banks, Children's Roundabout, etc. Then later in life as a guest, moderator, political candidate, commentator, and advertiser. Radio Cayman has been a big part of my life. Even today, Radio Cayman is still my source for news and opinions. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. Thank you for your service and dedication to the Cayman Islands.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're going to go for about another 10 minutes because the minister and the chief nursing officer, they have another commitment at 8:30, so we want to ensure that we don't get them late for their next meeting. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with me this morning, Honorable Katherine Ebanks-Wilks, Minister with responsibility for health, environment, and sustainability, and the Chief Nursing Officer, Ms. Felicia McLean. Ladies, over to you.
Thank you again, OC. It was nice to have an opportunity to talk about the Movement Challenge. And while we're here, we want to just speak a little bit about an upcoming amendment bill that will be debated in Parliament when we are in Parliament later this month, towards the end of the month. It is the Health Practice Amendment Bill 2026. And we just wanted to just talk a little bit about it this morning, just to say a bit about what the bill actually does. It's an amendment that will enable Cabinet to make regulations regarding the overarching professional standards for health practitioners. And then once the amendment bill is approved in Parliament, then the Ministry can prepare drafting instructions for regulations, which would be developed in consultation with the Health Practice Commission and the relevant professional councils. And the legislation the Act itself actually establishes now a clear structure for how the standards are set and maintained across the healthcare system. And some of the things that we wanted to make sure to clarify and just let the public be aware of is that the purpose is to create this legal framework that will allow Cabinet to establish the professional standards. And the roles of the professional councils remain the same. They will continue to regulate their respective professions within the enhanced framework, which is established now by the Health Practice Act and then the subsequent regulations. And then under that framework, or under the new framework, the councils will develop codes of practice and professional standards specific to the professions that they regulate. And what I can say is that they're way ahead. They're pretty much ready to go. So we want to make sure that the standards that have been prepared by the councils are, I guess, they form a part of regulations, and the standards then will reflect the responsibilities, the risk and scope of practice within each profession. This approach then actually maintains professional expertise in the development of detailed guidance while ensuring consistency at the system level. So again, this isn't anything new. The councils have been preparing a new set of standards, and what is changing is that the standards will form part of regulations. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about that. The consultation process the consultation period is open, and we're inviting the public, we're inviting stakeholders who we would like to hear from, healthcare practitioners, to provide any feedback that they might have on this proposed amendment that we'll be debating very soon.
So consultation's already open. It's currently running, and it'll run right through to the 28th of April, just before midnight, 11:59. So we're really encouraging healthcare providers to weigh in. So we did go to the council already. So this draft legislation's already been, we've had stakeholder involvement from the Health Practice Council and also from the commission also, and then the councils. However, we know that, we didn't get to every nurse and every doctor, every healthcare provider in that regard. So we're encouraging them to have a look at it and let us know their feedback, and they can give us feedback through publicconsultation.gov.ky, or they can email them their thoughts and comments into us at mohfeedback@gov.ky. So we're really, really encouraging. We want to, this ministry is as we've heard already, keen on data, and we're also keen on feedback. We want to make as we move forward with legislations to improve the healthcare and regulatory services within the Cayman Islands, ensuring patient safety and standards. We want to ensure we've not missed anything. So I think hearing from the public is really, really keen, and that's why we want to get on the show and ensure everyone understands that it's view. You can go ahead and view it now, the proposed legislation, and we'd love for them to give us some feedback.
Okay, and you gave out some details just now in terms of contacts. Can you repeat those, Ms. Felicia?
So you can find it through publicconsultation.gov.ky, and you can email anything back to us at mohfeedback@gov.ky.
Excellent.
One of the things that I would like to highlight and actually brag about is that this change in the legislation actually fulfills a public accounts committee required undertaking from as far back as 2018, 2019, which was this change is to advance a national healthcare standards program. So again, for those who have been following the Office of the Auditor General and all of their reports and recommendations, there are many of them that the ministry is working on, and we have lots to announce in the upcoming months. But this is one of the first ones that second, because we did the definition of medically indigent.
Yes.
So that was one of the recommendations from the Auditor General as well. So getting all of those implemented and certainly improving the framework for the healthcare systems in Cayman.
Okay. The HSA just recently, a few days ago, made an announcement and celebrated their first graduates of the phlebotomy technician certification program. You want to tell our listeners and viewers about that, those who may not have had the opportunity to read the information?
Well, I don't have the specific details in front of me, but what I will say is we are proud. It was the very first cohort, and HSA is as far as correct me if I'm wrong, but they're the training hospital of the Cayman Islands. And there are a lot of programs that we're working on to ensure that there are clear career pathways for Caymanians in the medical space. So this is a perfect example, and I want to give a shout out to the CEO and the HSA board for all that they've been doing to put this training framework in place. The ministry is working closely with them. It's one of the priorities for the government under the SPS is to ensure that we have clear training pathways for Caymanians in the medical field. So I'm really happy to see that we were able to have this training facilitated. I actually know a few of the young Caymanians who have participated, and they were so happy and enjoyed it. And this is just the beginning of a lot more opportunities that Caymanians will see in the medical space.
Okay, I want to give both of you an opportunity for some closing comments, and I just want to say to our to our listeners, some have sent in comments and questions in relation to other topics that we're not in a position to discuss this morning, simply because we don't have enough time, to do so as well. So I just want to say that to our listeners who have sent in things, or may even have sent a voice note. I'm not sure whether or not Miss Susan has had an opportunity to check the voice note, but I want to give both of you an opportunity for some closing comments.
So I want to think of it. I like to share, while I've spoken to healthcare professionals providing feedback, if there is anyone out there, patient-wise, just general public, that want to, a clear regulatory framework supports consistent expectations across the healthcare system. It also strengthens the ability to regularize bodies and oversee professional conduct and address concerns when standards are not met. So I'd love for the general public to also have a look at it. Don't just think, well, it's dealing with medicine, I don't know anything about that, and don't look at it. Knowledge is power, and your voice matters. So I encourage the regular person, the healthcare professionals, all to take a look at it and give us your feedback so we can put the best draft version together so that we can really impact the health of the community.
Okay, Minister.
And just to piggyback off what CNO was saying, I think that it's important to highlight that this is a piece of legislation that will regulate the way in which practitioners provide their services and their code of practice. So it's very important. I think it's going to change or improve the services that are offered by each relevant practitioner. Again, OC, just to thank you for giving us this time to come on this morning. And I'm so proud that we were here on the birthday of our radio station. So again, I want to just say happy birthday to Radio Cayman. Wow, 50 years is quite a while.
Yes.
And it's something to be proud of. And I certainly have many memories of a young girl listening to Radio Cayman on Saturday mornings, and lots of positive memories from a very young age. And certainly we all appreciate all that you do now on the radio station. And again, just to thank the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, the staff, for all of their hard work with, getting the Movement Challenge up and running. Thank all of those who have signed up to the Movement Challenge, and encouraging those in the public who have not yet registered to do so, and just challenge yourself to get a little bit active, because in the end you will be improving your own health, and that includes your mental health. And then as it relates to the public consultation, again, just want to encourage the public to visit the public consultation hub, have a look at the draft legislation, and provide feedback to the ministry staff. And then in closing, OC, again, just want to thank all of those individuals who've been busy working at the Georgetown landfill from yesterday, trying to get the fire contained. And the government will be meeting shortly, and I know that there will be an official update to provided to the public in short while. And again, as I singled out a lot of individuals, one of the persons that I didn't single out was the director for Department of Environmental Health, Director Sims, who I have been on the phone with throughout the night, as well as our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Wolf, and on everyone else who's been involved. But I want to thank especially those on the ground, the responders, the fire officers, our Department of Environmental Health team for working so hard. And I know that you talked a little bit about the fires, and as we all know, there is a fire risk when you have a landfill, and prevention, of course, is key. And while we are looking at trying to determine the cause of the fire, one of the, points that I can share with the public this morning to give a bit of comfort is that during this time, I've authorized the team to take additional preventative measures by increasing the frequency with which they cover the landfill with aggregate. So they've been doing that from last night, and that is actually an approach that Director Sims has been doing, especially when we do have the fires that pop up, and they've been able to contain most of the small fires. Unfortunately, weather conditions yesterday it wasn't in our favor. But with that, I just want to thank everyone for all their hard work. And OC, I wish you a wonderful Friday and look forward to coming back on very soon.
Certainly look forward to it as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
A superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hey, this is Lord Graham, as I'm known on Radio Cayman. My first early members of Radio Cayman was when they first started. We had a cousin of mine, Lomax Rankin, who was one of the first people to work for Radio Cayman. And whenever we were having a get-together or some sort of little party, especially on weekends, and he would play Music Express, the music that we love or the music that we could dance to. So I want to say happy 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman, the best in the land.
Good morning. Here's a traffic update. Due to the traffic congestion on North Sound Road, Eastern Avenue, and West Bay Road, motorists traveling towards West Bay and 7 Mile Beach are encouraged to travel via the Industrial Park, Sparky Drive, and the J. Borden Highway, as traffic on this alternate route is moving more freely.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so the phone lines are open. In fairness to those persons who may have sent messages in, I will read them now so that our listening audience can hear the questions that were posed. And like I said, the minister will be back on, dealing with, other topics, as well. And the opportunity, of course, will arise again. So this listener wrote and said, good morning, question for the Honorable Minister Ebanks-Wilks. Several waste management options have been provided by members of the public to yourself and other health ministers over the years. Could you please tell us why none of them have ever been considered in a public realm? So that was the question that one of our listeners had. And of course, I've heard similar statements being made before in relation to the same thing. And we know that the whole regen program that was terminated because it was felt that as far as the public, the population of the Cayman Islands was concerned, it was really not an agreement that was to the benefit of the people of the Cayman Islands, that they certainly could work out a better deal than what was being proposed there. I believe we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Dossie.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to call you, be the first one to call you this morning before your guests come on, but went over to a local supermarket and run into a good friend of yours.
Uh-huh.
It's Ray Hides.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, OC. After I left there, anything that I might have done that was not acceptable in the local society, community, I don't feel bad about it after he done blessing me and did me all them kind of things. He even talk about you too. so yeah, I'm a change. I don't know if I'm a change man, but I'm better for feeling about anything I might have done that was wrong. So I miss when I went into the supermarket. Somebody said, "Graham, I'm in my car waiting. I never hear you." I said, "Oh man, I rehides." And guess what? He's right behind me talking again. See.
He's a good conversation piece, though. He has good things to say. Yes.
Really good boy. Love him to death. Yeah. Concerning the dump. Can you use the term like the chickens are coming home to roost on that whole situation? Because I know the last proposal would have been our generations to come with being strapped. Like you just mentioned, it was not suitable for the Cayman people. It would have been strapped with a bill for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I think the Breakers one was an opportunity for us to start all over and to get it right with the proposal up there. We could have built a facility and we could have do the sorting of the waste and stuff like that. And that was basically politically beat down. Because I think a lot politicians or proposed candidates used it, as don't want to dump in my backyard, right? But we got it in the middle of town, so you weigh that, So, but see, what I really called for is, I listened to my good friend, the Deputy Governor. Mr. Manderson last night, and he made reference to the fact that he went to Walker and had a proposal offered to him, and then he made reference to other Caymanians that been successful because of the Walker group.
Mm-hmm.
But that should all go back to credit a little man, a little entrepreneur. And I'm going to say exactly what his son often referred to him as, somebody who could not read and write from right into Georgetown, disaster, and was an entrepreneur, probably some of the first to show us movies and transportation and all that. Mr. Thomas Seymour, our good friend Virgil and Kali and Curtis and Joyanne and the rest. Father, he was the one who brought Mr. Walker here to Cayman, and Mr. Walker never left.
Wow.
He never left. He was the one who brought him here to represent him when he had brought in the double-decker bus. You remember? And they gave him a hard time.
Right.
You remember that? Well, Mr. Thomas Seymour brought him here to represent him, and now there's an empire bill by the Walker president being on island, but it was Mr. Thomas Seymour who was the responsible person for bringing him to Cayman, and he never left.
Wow.
So a lot of people who have benefit, I heard the deputy governor made reference to the former premier, Mr. Patton, and all that. All of them benefited from that one little man, Mr. Thomas Seymour. But nobody talked about that. Nobody would get up and give credit to him. They would give credit to Walker Group.
Well, you wonder whether or not they know the story, as it has been given to you, whether or not how many people actually know that story.
Yeah, because also a lot of people, like the Honorable Ard McLean often say, they see our glory. They're seeing the glory of Mr. Walker being on island now, but they don't know the story. They don't know our story, but they know the glory. They're witnessing that and they're benefiting from that, but they don't know what took us to this point where we are now. So they're the things, that we need to start displaying and talking about the things that our people, our forefathers and mothers did to get us to the point where we are now, where they often also talk about this world-class civil service.
Yeah.
But world-class to the point where it provides world-class jobs and salaries for a lot of people who really don't know how the civil service started and to get it to where it is today, that too. So we have to start being like places like Barbados, who's not afraid to identify themselves as the people from the country who build the country. We tend not to want to admit, or I don't know whether it's because we don't want to offend others, but the fact is the fact, OC.
Yep.
So and a lot of people who might not like to hear it should be grateful that we allow that we're the people we are, the peaceful people, the people who Cayman-kind type people, to allow them to benefit from our story. So yeah, that's what I wanted to really say this morning, because I listened to the deputy governor this morning and was kind of praising the Walker for elevating certain Caymanians, but it was a Caymanian who elevated Walker, Mr. Walker. It was a Caymanian who did that.
And you hear many stories of, and I'm not saying this in any way to denigrate anyone, but some who came and became extremely successful, and they when they arrived on the island, they had one little grip. You recognize that word, grip? That's the old terminology for a suitcase, having a grip in their hand and probably one change of clothes. And those days, because you saw people day after day after day, because the population was very small, and you would see them wearing the same suit, the same clothes every day, almost every work day as well. And those were the persons who came here with nothing, and at the end of the day, end up being the ones who, quote unquote, made it and made the money as well. You know, arriving here with one change of clothes, if any.
I just say that it goes back, and I'm not trying to stir up anything real because I think it's at the court. I asked you this before. Red Spot. I can remember hearing stories that Red Spot, the water, the sea was almost up to the wall, and if you could swim from there around to the Norberg area, you were like accepted into the big boys club. You were like a big boy then, you know? Mm-hmm. So I still wonder, see, how can now somebody come and own that piece of property if the water had come almost up to the wall? How is that?
Mm-hmm. So, Lord Graham, one of our listeners has pointed out that William Walker was in Cayman years before Mr. Seymour brought in the double-decker bus. They say that he may have represented Mr. Seymour, but he had already been in Cayman for years.
Well, I'm hearing that he was the one who brought him here to represent. I can't remember whether it was the double-decker bus, because he was always into something with the government.
Yeah. Well, we can do it. We can do a time. We can do a little research on it in terms of to see because we know there are stories about the double-decker bus, and we can look at that. And I'm sure that maybe the Walker's website may have something about the history of the company as well. But we'll be able to find stuff on that as well. Lord Graham,
talk to you later.
Take care, folks. I want to say to you when we return from this commercial break, we have about 3 gift certificates that we want to give away today on celebrating Radio Cayman's 50th. And we have a $50 gift certificate from Le Classique. We also have a $50 gift certificate from Reflections. And it can be used at any of their entities. And we will have another $50 gift certificate from Brand Source as well. So we will have questions that we're going to put out. As soon as we return from this commercial break, we're going to give the first question. And, of course, the first caller to call in with the answer will win the prize. Let me remind you of our numbers. If you're calling from a flow line, you can call toll-free 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, and our WhatsApp number 925-3261. Calls only. Not so you can call on the WhatsApp as well, but don't send the answer on WhatsApp. You have to call in as well. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. My name is Carl Brown. You're the spirit and the ethos of the Caymanian people. Lomax Rankin in the mornings. Cheryl Ann and Joy Brandon reading news. Dorian Miller, the first talk show host. Sportscaster Ed Bush. What a memory. Radio Cayman is more than the voice. It is the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Let us start celebrating our birthday today. Let's look at some of the questions that we have. And if you listen closely to Mr. Carl Brown's voice, yes, now you may have the answer to this question. So we're looking for the names of at least two. So you have to give us two. At least two former announcers on Radio Cayman. The names of at least two former announcers at Radio Cayman. First caller with the correct answer will, of course, win a $50 gift certificate from Le Classique. Meanwhile, let's look at other issues that are taking place throughout the region. Haven't seen anything in our local news about this, but Bermuda, the Royal Gazette has indicated that in the House of Lords, there has been a call for urgent white paper on the overseas territories. It says that a House of Lords committee has urged the British government to urgently publish a new policy document on its overseas territories, echoing a call this year by Bermuda's Attorney General for a revised, modernized paper. Lord Strathclyde, the chairman of the Constitution Committee, wrote an open letter to Stephen Doughty, the United Kingdom's Minister of State for the Overseas Territories, with recommendations for ensuring Britain's commitment to the 10 inhabited territories are met and for improving the nation's relationship with them. I'm going to pause there a second because, of course, we have heard things like Partnership for Progress and Prosperity. Thing is that they have these white papers and we don't necessarily get any indication of how successful they have been, the measurement of them. We do have 5 callers on hold in relation to our question. Oh, we have a caller holding before that. Let's take the caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, morning, also. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, and 2 announcers, 8 Bush Quincy Brown. I can name about 4 more.
Well, yeah.
I don't worry about the price. I don't worry about that.
No, that's okay. We're going to take your details and give you gift certificate from Le Classique.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, no problem. Yeah, so I work on, but no, the thing about the dump come up again. I was watching that last night and say, my Lord, look at this here again. And you see what Lord Graham was talking about just now. I talks about this on the radio all the time, and in my campaign, we know who we voting for, but we don't know what we voting for. Now, the big slogan that everybody would won the election on, not in my backyard, not my backyard. But tell me something now. It's in the heart of town. If we going to keep filling it, and about this burden for generations to come with it now, you charge them, the people that are dumping. Oh, see, we got, I think it's 4 hotels coming on within the year now, right? You know how much garbage, more garbage the 4 of them got put in our waste? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And look at, not only the hotel, you know, what about the staff?
Yes.
So we can continue outing it, putting stuff on it and outing it. They're going to get so high that the plane not going to be able to come into Georgetown. We have to put the airport somewhere. But it's not getting no smaller because the development we want, okay? Remember, you know, if you eat, you know what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you start your car, you're burning the fuel, you're getting the exhaust. So somebody got to really say, listen to me. On the young people, this bill can have to be going on, but that place needs to be done so it can be recycled and reused. And I mean, quick. But you know what you do? Tell them to take their time with it, like how they're doing with the ganja. No weed, no woe. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that.
So you're accepting your gift certificate, or you want us to give someone else another opportunity?
Yeah, give it to some of my friends that down there. I don't care. Yeah. No worries.
Well, we'll take another caller. We'll take another caller.
Okay. All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Next caller. If you're calling in relation to the question, we're asking you to name at least 2 former announcers on Radio Cayman. Good morning. Welcome.
See me again?
Yep, this sounds like you.
Oh, yeah. Lomax Rankin and Cheryl Bella. Okay? But
okay.
And I call for that. What I call for is continue my conversation quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that called in, tell them to investigate whether he came here to represent Mr. Thomas in the lease agreement. He's the first person in Cayman to win a lease agreement against the commercial survey right at the corner of Eastern Avenue and Shaden Road. He won that to the point where, today, they're using the reference of his case in the law school. Investigate that too. Tell that person that call in to send in the message. Tell him to investigate that. He might have been brought here for that purpose.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And we're going to jot your name down here for the answer to the first question. Do we have other callers as well? Can we determine, Ms. Susan, whether or not those calls are in relation to for the prize and nothing else? Okay. So we're going to have another prize giveaway probably after the news at 9 o'clock, probably around about 9:15, between 9 and 9:15. We're going to have another question in relation to Radio Cayman. Meanwhile, we have about about 3 minutes to go in the before we go to our headline news. So let me continue to share this with you because this is extremely important. We keep hearing people talking about United Kingdom, talking about the Cayman Islands, British Overseas Territories, talking about the Cayman passport and everything else. So the House of Lords Committee has urged the British government to urgently publish a new policy document on its overseas territories, echoing a call this year by Bermuda's Attorney General for a revised, modernized paper. So Lord Strathclyde, who's the chair of the Constitution Committee, wrote an open letter to Stephen Doughty, the United Kingdom's Minister of State for the Overseas Territories, with recommendations for ensuring Britain's commitment to the 10 inhabited territories are met and for improving the nation's relationship with them. That goes to tell you that the relationship needs improving, irrespective of how much, and these are my words now, irrespective of how much we may ignore it or we may continue to go on with business as usual, it is quite obvious that that relationship needs improvement. Even the House of Lords knows that. He said the committee strongly agreed with the territories that a white paper published in 2012 was now, quote, badly out of date, and that a new white paper is urgently required, close of quote. Lord Strathclyde added, "We urge the United Kingdom government to bring forward a white paper during the next parliamentary session." The call came after Doughty told the committee in January, and I quote, "We understand there is a strong desire on behalf of a number of overseas territories for a new white paper. That will not be possible at the current time, but we remain open-minded to the future." Lord Strathclyde told the Royal Gazette that the committee's findings presented an opportunity for the government to rethink their stance on a white paper. Well, again, I'm going to interject there. Maybe the whole reason for not doing another white paper at this point in time is because possibly whatever they put into it, they may not be able to live up to those obligations. Who knows? Go on to say, he said, the purpose of a white paper is to lay out the thinking behind government actions and the relationship between it in London and the overseas territory. The policy letter to Mr. Doughty concludes the Constitutional Committee's review of the Overseas Territories Joint Declaration, a document signed in 2023 by Bermuda and other inhabited territories of Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Falkland Islands, Gibraltar, Montserrat, Pitcairn, St. Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The declaration encouraged the overseas territories to enter into bilateral agreements with independent nations and other bodies and to strengthen links with regional and international organizations. I will point out, because this story is pretty long, we know now that one of the things that Bermuda is considering, for instance, based on this perceived change, Bermuda is now looking to become a full member of CARICOM. And of course, they will require the British government's approval for that as well. But that is one of the areas that they are exploring at this point in time. With that, we're going to go to our headline news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The fire at the landfill continues to burn this morning. We've got an update now from Chief Fire Officer Randy Rankin.
Fire crews remain on scene and have made significant progress overnight,
with the top sections of the landfill now estimated to be approximately 85% contained. While major flames have been reduced, some surface flare-ups continue in isolated areas, which crews are actively managing. Operations remain focused on extinguishing hotspots, reinforcing containment measures, and preventing any further spread. 2 officers were transported for medical evaluation during the night and are receiving care at the Georgetown Hospital. Fire crews continue to work diligently, and we thank the public for their patience and cooperation. Further updates will be provided as necessary.
In the meantime, the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway remains closed. Due to traffic congestion on North Sound Road, Eastern Avenue, and West Bay Road, the RCIPS is encouraging motorists traveling towards West Bay and 7 Mile Beach to use Industrial Park, Sparky Drive, and the J. Bodden Highway, as traffic on this alternate route is, quote, moving more freely. In international news, Iran's foreign minister says the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, completely open to commercial ships for the remainder of the ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump posted, quote, thank you on Truth Social moments later. Oil prices dropped immediately after Iran's announcement. The confirmation came as the UK and France hosted a meeting with dozens of other countries to discuss freedom of navigation in the strait. Earlier, a 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon began with celebrations and fireworks in Beirut. More than 2,000 people in Lebanon have been killed in the 6-week conflict, with 1 in 5 people displaced. Israel says 2 of its civilians and 13 soldiers have been killed. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. I remember as a kid listening to the children's program, the lady would ask, do you know what the sound is? And as a kid, I would say out loud, it's a trumpet. And in response, on Radio Cayman, the lady would say, of course, it's a trumpet. And I was so amazed that the radio could hear me. And this is one of the most favorite childhood memory that I have. Thank you for keeping us entertained, and we love you.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have several callers, so I'm going to hold off on giving the next question because when I put the question on air, I want the calls to be related to the question and nothing else. So I don't want to. Yes. I don't want to mix and mingle the calls at this point in time. Which caller is first, Miss Susan? Line caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Orrett. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Friday. I am good. Nice to hear you. I sent you a picture also of the bus, and I want to just answer that question. Would be Paulette Conley and Loxley Banks, our former entertainers on the radio.
Yeah, we have a winner already. Got a winner.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, it's nice to hear you, and nice speaking with you. It's very informative, Radio Cayman.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's grab the WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, OC. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Morning.
Yeah, hanging in there. I want to say something about Radio Cayman. When Radio Cayman started, it was FM that it started with. It was AM band,
Yeah.
When Radio Cayman started in 1976, right? And it was a while after that then we went over to FM. But Mr. Loxley Banks, I remember, was the first announcer when Radio Cayman started on the AM band, and it wasn't on 24 hours neither, it was on just a couple of hours a day, if I can remember. But Mr. Avery Eden and Mr. Lomax and Mr. Ed Bush, all of them, I remember when Radio Cayman started. So congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 years anniversary.
Thank you very much, caller, for that as well. Miss Susan, any other calls? Okay. Meanwhile, let me share some more of this information. Any other calls, Miss Susan? Okay, no more calls. So why don't we do this then? So here is our second question, with the winner winning a $50 gift certificate from Reflections, and it can be used at any of their entities. So we want to take the first caller. Callers, please call in relation to the question only, so that we don't get things confused. So we are looking for the name of a host of the Children's Roundabout, right? Name the host of Children's Roundabout that was broadcast on Radio Cayman. So there were several hosts of that Children's Roundabout. If you know one of those hosts, please provide us with that information. First person with the correct answer will win a $50 gift certificate from Reflections. Any callers yet, Miss Susan? 2 callers. Let's grab the first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Next caller, good morning. Good morning, caller. I'm hearing some noise in the background, so that means you're there.
Hi. Good morning, OC.
Good morning.
I was initially calling about your first question, but that's been answered, and I didn't hear the second one. Could you repeat it?
Okay. The name a host, there were several of them. Name a host of the Children's Roundabout on Radio Cayman.
I think Joyanne Rawlings would have been one in the early times, but I'm not completely sure.
No, she wasn't good. Okay.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye now. Any other caller on hold, Miss Susan? Okay, someone on WhatsApp, but it's the same answer as well. So I will repeat the question again. Name a host of the Children's Roundabout on Radio Cayman. Of course, the Children's Roundabout was way back, in Radio Cayman's history as well. So nothing that is current. I believe we do have a caller coming in, Ms. Susan. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have an answer to us to the question? Name a host for the Children's Roundabout that was broadcast on Radio Cayman.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Morning, good morning.
Mr. O.C., I'm still a young boy,
So am I.
I'm so young that I call in and talk to Mr. Charlo almost every week.
Uh-huh.
So is it Mr. Charles Glidden is one of the people on the children's roundabout, right?
Yes, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. And your name?
Craig.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answer. You are a winner. And we will... Susan, do you need to get his details from him? Just stay on the line, and Miss Susan will take your details. So you're the winner of a $50 gift certificate from Reflections, and you can use that $50 gift certificate at any of their entities owned by Reflections. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We are going to go to a commercial break between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. We will have our final question for you as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
Happy birthday to you. This is your day. From this day forward, I'm gonna love you in every way. Hi, Cayman. This is Josani Furman. I just want to say happy anniversary to Radio Cayman. One of my fond memories would be listening out for the New Kids on the Block birthday requests and shout out. You know, my grandmother would send out birthday shout outs to us. So we would always look forward to that as a kid. As soon as you heard those little chimes, you knew what was coming. So I just want to say thank you for being a part of my childhood and still in adulthood. Happy birthday, Radio Cayman. 50 years of greatness, Caymanian culture. Radio Cayman, the best.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have no callers at this point in time. You may want to keep your fingers close to the dial. The next question that I will have will be centered towards the BRAC, because we don't want to leave our BRACers, out of this as well. And this will be a question in relation to the BRAC. I will say no more at this point in time, but I also want to thank our sponsors for their valuable prizes and for their support to Radio Cayman over the years, as well as now. Some have been supportive from the inception, like Brand Source formerly Stereo City, as well as CUC, and some of our current sponsors. We have for this, our 50th anniversary celebration, Le Classique, Kirk Freeport, Brand Source, Reflections, CUC, In Style Fashion Week, and Grape Tree Cafe. I have a birthday shout out that I have been asked, and I want to share this as well. So Mr. Harley Brown, he will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow. This person is sending early greetings to him, coming from Peggy. And Peggy is also celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday greetings to Peggy as well. She points out, I wish for him long life and prosperity, good health, and continue to serve the Lord with all his heart, soul, and mind, and please enjoy tomorrow when it comes. So to Mr. Harley Brown, coming from Peggy, happy birthday going out to you. Okay, let's check. Someone sent a photograph of this. Okay, this was one with Mr. Denzel Barnes, who, an article from, can't tell which newspaper it was, but it was from the Compass Archive. Denzel Barnes improves his Georgetown bus service as well. I want to thank that listener for sharing that with us. I'm going through all of our comments. This person has written and said, "Hi, OC. Not an answer to your question, but I want to say thanks to Radio Cayman. Long before online studies, Radio Cayman helped me prepare a recorded presentation for my master's degree to an overseas university in 1976. And I made it. Congratulations." And the person says, you can share my name. They said they think it was 1977 or 1978. And that name is, of course, Miss Marjorie Ebanks, Miss Marjorie Ebanks. So again, I'll repeat that. She says, thanks to Radio Cayman, long before online studies, Radio Cayman helped me prepare a recorded presentation for my master's degree to an overseas university in 1976, 1977 or 78. And she says, I made it. And she certainly did. And she certainly has made an impact on education here in the Cayman Islands as well. So, Miss Marjorie, thank you. Thank you for all that you have done in public service to the Cayman Islands in the area of education as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Susan, happy birthday going out to Amelia, coming from your parents, Raymond and Gay Scott. So Amelia, happy birthday coming to you from your parents, Raymond and Gay Scott. Raymond and Gay Scott as well. We have him on the line. Let's grab the phone call. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C., and good morning to everybody. You just mentioned the greetings, yes, from me. I send in greetings to my daughter, Amelia, who celebrates her birthday tomorrow, for a very happy and pleasant birthday and many more years to come.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And what was your question about something on Cayman Bracken?
Well, we haven't posed that question yet, so you have to wait for that to come, and then you'll get an opportunity to answer it as well. We haven't put that question out there yet.
Okay, understood. Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Let me try to finish this before we go to our next commercial break, and then we can do the questions after that. I want to go back to this recommendation in this letter that the House of Lords and Lord Strathclyde has written to the Minister for the Overseas Territories. This is extremely important because here in Cayman at this point in time, we're not hearing a whole lot in terms of, what's happening between the United Kingdom and the Cayman Islands. We know our new members of Parliament have had the opportunity to go and visit the United Kingdom. We know that our Deputy Speaker would have, as probably our Speaker as well, would have gone off to the United Kingdom. But from a political perspective, we are not hearing a whole lot. So here is what Lord Strathclyde has said. In his letter published yesterday, he wrote, "The proliferation of extant and proposed documentation concerning the overseas territories since the publication of the White Paper in 2012 has engendered uncertainty about the status, relative standing, and interdependence of the various documents." Yeah, that, you print documents, you publish them, and you say, this is going to, what we want to happen, this is what we want to happen, but no one is doing a check to see, what those outcomes, have been, and relative to the standing and interdependence of the various documents. He goes on to say, this uncertainty strengthens the case for publication of an overarching and definitive new white paper. We need that, folks. In the meantime, we call on the government to clarify how the various documents relate to each other, which of them are still in force or to be developed in the future, and whether the 2012 White Paper continues to take precedence. Some may argue that yes, and these are my words now, yes, we see things in relation to the biodiversity of the overseas territories, environmental issues. I believe that is the one area that they will be able to point to the fact that we have seen developments. When it comes to political development, I don't believe that there's much that can be said about that. So he goes on and says his letter spoke of the vital, societal, cultural, environmental, economic, and strategic role that the overseas territories play as part of the wider United Kingdom family. Lord Strathclyde wrote, "We welcome in particular the vital work played by the overseas territories in the management of unique terrestrial and marine ecosystems as set out in the United Kingdom Overseas Territories Biodiversity Strategy." And I mentioned that before without even reading further down to see that was mentioned there. So I'm not seeking any credit for what I said. We also, however, draw attention to the unique exposure of the overseas territories to global challenges, not least in relation to climate change and geopolitical uncertainty, and to the potential impact on the United Kingdom. Folks, I'm going to pause there again. You know what that potential impact is? That if the overseas territories find themselves in financial difficulty as a result of these changes as a result of this geopolitical uncertainty, then some of those overseas territories, if not all of them, may have to rely on the United Kingdom for financial support. And of course, they are trying to avoid that. That is why it is important for them to address the whole issue of geopolitical uncertainty, as well. He emphasized Britain's constitutional obligation to the overseas territories in relation to foreign affairs and defense. The committee's other recommendations were for the United Kingdom working with the overseas territory territories to ensure commitments and principles on the joint declaration were met by monitoring and reporting on progress, something that I don't believe that takes place, and they in the House of Lords have acknowledged that and recognized and acknowledged that. Also recommended that the urgent introduction of bilateral compacts for those territories that want them. You can enter that. Also recommended an end to the regular turnover of ministers and officials at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, that structures for effective engagement are deeply embedded and not vulnerable to changing personalities. They also recommend a review of whether the overseas territories should remain under the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. They recommend a partnership between Britain and the overseas territories to tackle the underlying tensions between the UK's overarching responsibility for good governance and upholding international commitments and the territories' desire to exercise autonomy. They also recommend principles of early engagement, ongoing and transparent communication, and clarity about roles and responsibilities to be embedded across all UK government departments, with a list of responsible officials in each to be provided to overseas territories government as well. Lord Strathclyde said in a statement, the relationship between the United Kingdom government and overseas territories is of fundamental constitutional importance. It has matured and modernized significantly in recent decades and is in many respects positive and constructive. He added, the overseas territories do not always feel appropriately respected or valued, and the 2012 white paper is now badly out of date. 2012, that's 14 years ago, folks. Across Whitehall culture that respects and values the overseas territories is central to effective engagement. So I would welcome those of you who may have an interest in terms of the relationship between the United Kingdom and its overseas territories. Go to the Royal Gazette newspaper. There's an article in there, Lord's Call for Urgent White Paper on the overseas territories. You may want to read that because as far as the Cayman Islands is concerned, there's nothing but silence in terms of our relationship. And some may argue, well, the relationship is good, so we need not say, we need not comment on it. What about the whole geopolitical uncertainty that we're facing now? What about that? For instance, if you looked at the Royal Gazette newspaper today, again, one of the things that they are addressing, government caps fuel prices until October. I'll share that with you as well if time allows. But that is a geopolitical issue. We see Bermuda is taking some steps. We know that there have been calls for steps to be taken here, and I believe that there is a private member's motion going to our Parliament in relation to the whole issue of the tax on imported oil, removing government's duty on that to ease the pressure on the people of the Cayman Islands. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned because when we return, we're going to have a third question in relation to Radio Cayman's 50th anniversary. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
There you go, sir.
Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This April 25th, join Triple C School for a night of joy, celebration, and giving back. It's the Faith to Soar at 84 Celebration Gala at the Family Life Center on Academy Way, Georgetown. Seating starts at 6:30 p.m., so arrive early. Enjoy a delicious Cayman-style menu with fish, turtle, conch, chicken, and Cayman-style beef, plus all the trimmings. Be ready for amazing performances by the UCCI Performing Arts Ensembles, Triple C Band, and Choir. And don't miss your chance at spot prizes. Tickets are just $100, smart casual attire, and all proceeds go towards the Triple C Scholarship Fund. Come celebrate 84 years of faith, community, and excellence, because together we soar.
50 years of service, 50 years of connection. Congratulations to Radio Cayman on reaching this incredible milestone. Since 1976, Radio Cayman has been the trusted voice of the Cayman Islands, informing, educating, and uniting our community across generations. From breaking news and national updates to cultural celebrations and inspiring conversations, Radio Cayman has been there every single step of the way. To the dedicated team behind the microphone and everyone who has contributed to this proud legacy, thank you, thank you, thank you for your unwavering service and commitment to excellence. And to our listeners who have made Radio Cayman the heartbeat of our islands for a half a century, we celebrate this movement with you. Here in the Sister Islands, we depend on Radio Cayman, especially during the hurricane seasons. We simply cannot do without you. Congratulations once again to Radio Cayman on 50 years of service to the people of the beautiful Cayman Islands. May the good Lord continue to bless this institution and all those who keep its mission alive and well.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. So I'm going to give out the numbers. You may want to write them down. If you're calling from a floor number, you can call toll free 1-800-534-8255. 1-800-534-8255. You can also call 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. This question is in relation to an occurrence in the BRAC. It is not restricted to BRAC callers, but it's in relation to the BRAC. And what will you win if you are correct? You will win a $50 gift certificate, again from Reflections, and it can be used at any of their entities. The question is, folks, when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands? I will repeat it again. When did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands? So we're looking for the year that was established. Again, phone numbers 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. Any callers yet, Miss Susan? No callers yet. I guess they have to do their research. Meanwhile, I'm going to share with you something, and this is AI generated, so I'm going to just give it to you the way it is, and then some people may want to correct the accuracy of it. So it talks about the early beginnings of Radio Cayman. It says the concept of radio in the Cayman Islands dates back to the early 1950s, when a group of students at West Bay all-grade school, including J.B. Groves, Owen Powery, Cecil Bush, and Loxley Banks experimented with radios and were even disciplined for playing them in school. Loxley Banks later became a key advocate for establishing a local radio station after serving in the U.S. Air Force and gaining experience with Armed Forces radio and television services. Prior to the official launch, community broadcasts were conducted, such as ship-to-shore announcements by Malcolm Malako from Hogstye Bay. So that's a AI-generated presentation of the early beginnings of Radio Cayman. One of the things that I continue to see here is conflicting dates, and I'm not sure whether or not that is generated by AI or otherwise. But I think, we have the goods on it. But there are indications I see here where it has been pointed that on April the 12th, 1976, that Radio Cayman conducted its first test broadcasts. I'm not sure that is actually correct, but we'll rely on Mr. Loxley Banks to tell us more about that as well. With that, we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have an answer to the question in relation to when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands?
Good morning. Am I on?
Good morning. Yes, you are.
Good morning, Mr. Ozzy. My answer would be in 1976.
Sorry. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. We're not looking for when Radio Cayman started transmitting. We're looking for when Radio Cayman established a transmitter in Cayman Brac.
Oh, okay. Can I answer again?
Oh, we do have another caller, but you can certainly redial and call back. We want to grab the other caller in the meantime, but you can certainly redial if you think now that you may have the answer. A WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have an answer to the question, when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands?
Was it July 1977?
Nope. Unfortunately not. You're pretty way off on that. Pretty way off. Not as early as people may be thinking. But thank you very much for. You may want to do a little bit more research, and if possible, try calling back again. Any other calls on hold? So another caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have an answer to the question, when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands?
Was it 1980?
Nope. Getting closer, getting warmer, but not there yet. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You may want to try, do a little more research, dive a little deeper, and come back to us. Any other calls there? Miss Susan, none? Okay. Let me check our WhatsApp messages, just for messages, not anything in relation to the answers, because we are asking you to call in rather than sending messages. Okay. Meanwhile, let's talk about fuel prices and everything else, and let's see what Bermuda is doing. And, we'll interrupt that to talk about, to take in a caller who has, or who believes that they have the answer to a question. So, in Bermuda, the Minister for Home Affairs has directed the regulatory authority to cap Bermuda's price of fuel until mid-October. I'm going to throw the question out there. Does our regulatory authority here in the Cayman Islands have that sort of power to cap the price on fuel in the Cayman Islands? Those of you who are familiar and are in the fuel industry, you may have an answer to that. Do we have the ability here in the Cayman Islands, the off-reg, what was formerly known as off-reg, to cap the price of fuel in the Cayman Islands? We do have a caller. Caller, do you have an answer to the question in relation to when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have the answer?
Good morning. Is it 1981?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're a little bit too early with 1981. A little further ahead than that. That's the hint that I will give at this point in time. Do a little more research and try calling back as well. Any other callers on hold, Miss Susan? No callers? So, switching gears. After announcing last month that the island was closely monitoring the impact of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East on global oil markets, the Minister for Home Affairs has directed the regulatory authority to cap Bermuda's price of fuel until mid-October. The order for a standstill ceiling based on the retail price prevailing immediately was published on Wednesday in the official gazette, specifying that no licensed importer, wholesaler, or retailer would be permitted to charge above the threshold effective for the next 6 months. Now that's power. Now that's being effective. Those are my words. The move is backed by the Fuels Act 2022, which extended the regulatory authorities' oversight to cover the fuel sector. Well, the rhetorical question, if Bermuda can enact such legislation, why can't we? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, the WhatsApp number first. Caller, do you have the answer in relation to the question, when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands? WhatsApp caller. Hello? Let's go to the next caller. Landline, do you have an answer to the question?
Yeah. Is it 2007?
No, I'm sorry, not 2007. Any other caller? Ms. Susan? Two more callers. Hopefully we'll get a correct answer with one of those. Next caller, do you have an answer to the question, when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands?
Oh, see, there seems to be varying answers to that because, in researching it, it says that there were dedicated transmitters as early as 1976, but most notably in 2007, it was aligned to 93.9, but I just heard you tell the lady that 2007 wasn't correct, and you told those that it was after 1980, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but that's what my research turned up. 2007, Radio Cayman established dedicated transmitters in Cayman Brass.
You say 2007.
2007, yep. And the original one, when the station launched as early as 1976, the BRAC FM transmitter has been part of the network from those early years. And I remember I was in Cayman BRAC, we could not get really clear service until they established the FM transmitter, and that was in 2007. So I'm not quite sure what the historical records there are showing, but even the Compass archives agree with what I've just
Well, that's not the answer that I have for that they've given me, for it.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Other caller there, Ms. Susan? Any others? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have an answer to the question?
Yes, it's 2008.
No, sorry, not 2008 either. Next caller. Caller, good morning. Do you have a...
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Is it 1977?
Sorry, no, not 1977 either.
No.
Okay. What's up, caller? Do you have an answer to the question?
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Do you have an answer?
I'm going to make a guess at it because I think it's in 1985.
You're close, but
it's 87,
no cigars.
85 or 87.
Sorry. Neither one of those. Neither one. Any other callers there? Do we still have a commercial break to take, right, Miss Susan? Last break. So we're going to take a break. I don't want to stump people on this one. So it's going to be between. It's going to be before, after 1980 and before 1990. I'm going to give that much of a hint. Right. Before 1990, after 1980. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This April, the Cayman Islands come alive. Capella Music Festival 2026 takes over Camana Bay Saturday, April 25th. T.I.
Ready to the checker flag, ready through the red light.
Robin Thicke.
We got the magic.
Adonia, Flushy Fire, Problem Child, Spencer Crandall, Nicotine Dolls, Ziggy Ziegler, DJ Stax, and more from 12 p.m. to midnight. Get your tickets now at CapellaMusicFestival.com.
This April, experience more than fashion. Experience culture, creativity, and community. Cayman In Style Fashion Week 2026 returns April 23rd to the 26th. A 4-day celebration of innovation, wellness, and global excellence. From the Global Fashion Summit to the Bridal Couture Exhibition, runway shows, and the Trailblazer Awards Gala, where ideas, talent, and opportunity meet. Supporting youth through the Creative Fashion School and sustainability to protect our future. Get your tickets now at CaymanInStyleFashionWeek.com. Cayman In Style Fashion Week 2026, where culture meets creativity.
Hello, this is Roy Tatum, your Member of Parliament for Red Bay. Congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 remarkable years. For half a century, Radio Cayman has been more than a radio station. It has been the voice of our people, the heartbeat of these islands, present through every storm and every celebration and every chapter of our story as Caymanians. A special thank you to every staff member, past and present, whose dedication and passion built this legacy we treasure so deeply. On behalf of the people of the constituency of Red Bay, I thank you, Radio Cayman, and may your signal carry us proudly into the next 50 years. God bless.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're still stumped on this third question in relation to when did Radio Cayman establish its transmitters on Cayman Brac to provide dedicated service to the sister islands? We have two callers still. First caller, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I think it was 1984, 1.4 million.
Sorry, that's incorrect also. 1984 is incorrect. Next caller. Caller, do you have an answer?
Sorry, that's incorrect.
Good morning, caller. Can hear you radio in the background.
Is it 1988?
Correcto.
Correct.
Finally, someone got it. 1998. Okay, we need you to provide. What's your last name?
My last name? Hurlstone.
Okay, and just stay on the line and give Miss Susan your details.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the gift. So, folks, that one was a little bit trying, I would say, because we have so many questions and so many gifts that we're going to give out. It looks like on these sheets that I have here, at least 14, and we're extremely grateful to our sponsors, Le Classique, Kirk Freeport, Brand Source, Reflections, CUC, In Style Fashion Week, and Grape Tree Cafe as well. Many more questions. I would say to those of you, they always say, in order for you to know where you're going, you need to know where you're coming from as well. Do some more research in terms of Radio Cayman. I am going to go back to my Nor'Wester copies that I have, compliments of Miss Sharon Ebanks, sharing them with me, because there was a section on their dedication that was done for Radio Cayman's inception that was done as well, and I will ensure that I do my research and share a lot of that with you. I believe some of that information may be on Radio Cayman's website as well. Not certain. I also want to share some additional information that I have received in relation to Radio Cayman. So it says that the first test broadcast started on the 17th of April. That was when the first test broadcast started. I've been informed that there was a government ceremony marking the opening in July of 1976, and the actual launch of broadcasting services was on the 12th of December 1976. So the actual launch of the broadcast service was on the 12th of December 1976, an advanced Christmas present to the people of the Cayman Islands. Those are my words, So again, folks, the first test broadcast started on the 17th of April. That's why we're celebrating that today, because that's when the first test broadcasts were conducted. There was a government ceremony marking the opening in July 1976, and the actual launch of broadcast service was December the 12th, 1976. Okay, in relation to the bus service, Mr. Thomas Seymour's, his bus. There is an article in the Compass Archives dated the 13th of January, 1993, and part of it talks about, this is from page 1, the vehicle has not been granted entry because the traffic law, section 12A revised 1973, prohibits the importation or use of double-decker omnibuses on the islands. And that was a statement that was made by Assistant Secretary to the Portfolio of Agriculture, Communications and Works. At that time, Mr. Philip Tatum, the late Philip Tatum, made that observation. He says Mr. Seymour won't be able to take the bus off the dock because it is illegal, he said. Buses of this height could collide with the island's telephone lines and power lines, as well as trees, and could therefore potentially be hazardous, Mr. Tatum indicated. He noted that Mr. Seymour had approached his portfolio about importing the omnibus, one of the famous family of bright red double-decker buses used in London, but that he had been referred to the Customs Department. Mr. Merlin Seymour, self-employed businessman and the son of Mr. Thomas, said his father was very upset about the refusal to allow the bus to be used on the island and will not talk about the matter. His father had shipped the bus from London to Miami, where it underwent some modifications before being shipped here. Having spoken to certain people, Mr. Thomas had been under the impression when he brought the bus to Cayman that it would be okay, said Mr. Merlin. He added, "My father's life savings are sitting on that dock. He is not sending the thing back. He doesn't have the money. This is really ridiculous. The bus is only 13 feet high, which is much lower than some of the shipping containers carried on the back of lorries on the island. The bus would have been a great tourist attraction," pointing out that the law had been changed recently to allow motorbikes with engines over 90 cubic centimeters onto the island. Mr. Merlin asked, why can't they lift the ban on something like this bus? It is very safe, and unlike big motorbikes, it won't take any lives. Mr. Merlin reiterated that his father had no arrangements to ship the bus off the island. The government should take the bus off the dock and store it, he suggested. If Mr. Seymour does not ship the bus off the island, then the vehicle will become the property of the shipping company, which would be expected to deal with it, said a port authority spokesperson. So that's the story. I've shared that part of it with you, but to say that this was the publication in January of 1993. So it would appear that somewhere prior to the 13th of January 1993, the bus arrived in the Cayman Islands. So, okay, so here's the page 1 on it as well. And it shows a picture sitting on a dock in the bay. I guess they wanted to play on words. Sitting on the dock of the bay, not in the bay. A classic London omnibus waits on the Port Authority dock in Georgetown while its fate is decided. The traffic law forbids the importation of double-decker buses. Bus in limbo, and this was an article written by Eliza Strawn. I don't know if any of you remember her. I remember Eliza Strawn. Says the big red double-decker bus sitting at the end of the main dock in Georgetown could become a bit of a problem. The magnificent old bus has been denied entry into the country by the Customs Department, but its owner, Mr. Thomas Seymour, says he does not have the money to send a 13-foot-high vehicle back to Miami. And it says Mr. Seymour was hoping to use the bus. Okay, got to find the rest of it. That he was hoping to use the bus as a tourist attraction. Folks, oh God, I didn't look over. I'm so busy reading, I didn't look up at the clock, and we're 3 minutes over. Folks, I want to thank all of you who shared your comments and participated in the question series. Congratulations to those prize winners as well. I would say to you, continue to read up on your Radio Cayman, history of Radio Cayman. If you have the old newspapers of that time, read those articles. And of course, we have the Compass archives as well that you may want to resort to. Let me look quickly at these WhatsApp messages that came in. Person says, that was in relation to the question that came in a little bit late. Let me check the other one. That was a voice note. Miss Susan can check that later as well. Happy birthday, Radio Cayman. My pleasure to be a part, of it. Not a part of the history of Radio Cayman. I do recall, though, that at one point in time I did call in when, what was the show Mr. Doran Miller hosted on a Monday night open line. And at that time I called in because the then administrator or governor, Mr. Long, was in the studio. And I called in to talk about something about the civil service. I did call in as well. Folks, thanks to all. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, join Mr. Charles Glidden-Shallow at 12:15, where he will have some of those names that you called this morning in the studio with him. Have a great day, and God bless.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman.